Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're diving into Emily Henry's super popular novel, Book Lovers.
Yeah. It's everywhere.
It really is.
Yeah.
And you've probably heard it called a love letter to bookworms, right? Which, okay, it definitely has that vibe.
Yeah, sure.
But our mission today is to dig, way deeper than that.
Yeah.
We want to unpack why this book is actually, surprisingly sharp and witty and really emotional, too.
Absolutely.
It explores so much ambition, family stuff, identity, and maybe most importantly, the stories we tell ourselves.
The narratives we get stuck in.
Exactly. So we want to get past the surface of this, popular contemporary romance and really find those deep, surprising insights about what it means to genuinely write your own story, your own ending.
And that's really where Book Lovers just shines, isn't it? It's such a masterclass in taking those common romance novel tropes and just flipping them on their head. It gives you a really refreshing take on love, obviously, but also it sort of redefines what a happy ending or a fulfilling life can even look like, especially, I think, for ambitious women.
Right. The ones who often feel like they have to choose career or relationship.
Precisely. This book argues pretty convincingly that you can have both. Just maybe not in the exact way the old stories told us.
Okay, so let's unpack that. Let's start with our protagonist, Nora Stephens, because right away she knows the trope. She's totally self-aware.
Painfully aware, almost.
Yes. She sees herself as the cold, career-focused girlfriend. You know the type. The one who gets dumped when the guy goes to a small town and falls for the quirky baker.
For the sweet school teacher, yeah. She's the before picture.
She is. She's the obstacle, not the main character in that story. What's so interesting about her knowing this about herself?
Well, it stops her from just being a stereotype, doesn't it? Usually that character's just there to make the hero look good when he finds the real heroine.
Right, a plot device.
Exactly. But Nora's self-awareness, it's like a shield. She anticipates the plot. She almost owns it to protect herself. Which makes you, the reader, immediately ask, okay, how much of my identity, my choices, are shaped by roles I've just accepted, even if they don't really fit?
That's a great question. And her life definitely plays into that. She's this powerhouse literary agent in New York City, super ambitious, confident, very professional.
Unapologetically so.
Totally. Her career is everything. But like you said, that drive, it comes at a cost. She works crazy hours. She keeps getting dumped for being too much or too intense. And she carries this heavy emotional load, particularly when it comes to her younger sister, Libby.
Libby. The complete opposite.
The exact opposite. Libby's warm, she's kind of whimsical, very maternal, total romantic, and she's pregnant with her third kid.
And she's worried about Nora.
Yeah, she's frustrated with Nora's, constant work focus. So Libby gets this idea, a kind of life makeover trip for Nora.
Right, the intervention trip.
Basically. She convinces Nora to take a sister's trip to Sunshine Falls, North Carolina, which is, ironically, the setting of a book by one of Nora's clients.
Oh, the meta-ness is great.
It is. And Libby's goal is this full-on, small-town romance experience for Nora. Farmers markets, handsome local guys, maybe a lumberjack.
Libby has a checklist, right?
A literal checklist. Nora is definitely not thrilled. It means working remotely, probably missing deals, but she agrees. Mostly because she feels Libby pulling away, and she sees it as maybe a last chance to, reconnect.
And this setup, it's just perfect. It lays out that classic trope. Big city person goes to small town, finds love, finds themselves, all very explicitly.
Textbook rom-com setup.
But then almost immediately the book just yanks the rug out.
It really does, because when they get to Sunshine Falls, it is not the charming Hallmark movie set Libby was picturing.
Not at all.
It's a bit run down, actually. Empty shops, the economy's clearly struggling. It feels, real.
Which is fascinating, because the setting itself starts subverting your expectations right away. It's not this perfect, idealized place. It signals, okay, this isn't going to be some fluffy story where just changing your location fixes everything. The town has problems.
Yeah.
It's grounded.
Yeah, it forces you to look beyond the quaint facade, and that realism extends to the first hot local Nora runs into.
Definitely not the rugged cowboy Libby ordered.
Not even close. It's someone she knows. Charlie Lastra, an editor from her world in New York, and famously incredibly grumpy.
The last person you'd expect for a small-town romance hero. He's actually from Sunshine Falls, but he hates it.
Hates it. Calls it where dreams go to die or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. He's sarcastic, he's blunt, allergic to small talk.
He and Nora have history. Bad history. He completely trashed one of her clients' manuscripts years ago. Like a really brutal rejection.
So you get this immediate enemies to lovers vibe, but it's not based on some silly misunderstanding. It's rooted in their professional lives, their different philosophies. It's intellectual friction.
Which feels much more substantial somehow.
Definitely more compelling.
So naturally, they keep bumping into each other in this tiny town. And this professional thing, it starts to bubble up again.
Right. Nora finds out Charlie's there temporarily, working at his family's struggling bookstore.
Yeah, helping out his sick dad. And, surprise, surprise, he's also secretly editing manuscripts on the side.
And this is where the plot gets really clever. Because Nora happens to need help with her star client's latest book.
Which is set in Sunshine Falls. The irony.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
So Charlie, despite being, Charlie is the ideal editor for it. Reluctantly, they start working together.
And their interactions are just gold. The banter is so sharp, so witty. It's all about books and publishing and their clashing views.
It really is. It's not about instant sparks flying. It's about this meeting of minds. They connect over the manuscript, debating things. Like, Nora's all about ambition. Charlie's pushing for authenticity.
And it builds this foundation of respect, right? Before anything overtly romantic happens, they respect each other's brains first.
Exactly. That intellectual sparring is the initial draw. Then, slowly, working together, things start to soften. Just a little.
They start sharing things, bits about their families, career pressures, moments of unexpected vulnerability kind of slip out.
You see the cracks in the armor.
Yeah. And the chemistry, okay, it becomes pretty undeniable. But Nora keeps trying to push it down. She reminds herself, I'm here for Libby, not for this guy.
She's trying to stick to her own script.
Right. But while Nora and Charlie are doing this slow burn dance, Libby starts acting really weird.
The Libby mystery unfolds.
Yeah, she's sneaking off, being super vague about calls with her husband back home, and she's weirdly insistent on Nora doing all these, forced, fun, small-town things, hiking, town events.
Things Nora would normally hate.
Exactly. So Nora's big sister radar goes into overdrive. She starts trying to figure out what's really going on. Because Libby's well-being, that's always been Nora's #1 priority.
And that whole subplot is so crucial for understanding Nora. It's not just filler. It ties directly into their past, into the theme of sisterhood. We get these flashbacks.
Yeah, those flashbacks are key.
We learn about their mom, who was this strong single mother, loved books, but died young.
Leaving Nora to step up.
Completely. Nora basically became the parent. Super protective, super responsible. She gave up a lot, like dropping out of college to make sure Libby was okay, stable, safe.
So that history explains everything about Nora now. Her relentless drive, her workaholism. It's not just ambition for ambition's sake.
No, it's about security. For her, success equals safety, especially for Libby. She's been holding onto that protector role and maybe onto the past itself really, really tightly, trying to prevent any more loss.
Which is completely understandable given what they went through.
Absolutely. And this protectiveness, this history, leads us to maybe the biggest way the novel flips the script.
Yeah.
As Nora and Charlie get closer. The expected rom-com ending just doesn't happen. Nora doesn't suddenly decide she loves small-town life and wants to give up her career.
She doesn't loosen up in that stereotypical way.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And Charlie, he doesn't magically transform into Mr. Sunshine Falls who wants to run the bookstore forever.
No. Quite the opposite.
Exactly. The connection deepens because they respect who the other person already is, ambitions and all. And then Charlie drops the bomb. He doesn't plan to stay in Sunshine Falls either. He wants to be back in New York.
Which is huge for Nora, like a massive aha moment.
Totally. Because it's not about one person sacrificing for the other. It's about their desires actually lining up.
Yeah. For the first time, she finds someone who doesn't just tolerate her ambition, but actually shares it. Someone whose life fits with hers, instead of her needing to change to fit into theirs.
It's such a powerful counter-narrative. It says real love is about acceptance and shared goals, not about one person having to fundamentally compromise who they are.
It feels so much more real and honestly more romantic in a modern way.
I agree. And then finally, we get the Libby reveal, the reason for the trip, the weirdness.
Right. Libby confesses she and her husband, they actually bought a house in Sunshine Falls. They're moving there permanently.
Wow.
Yeah. And she didn't tell Nora because she was scared Nora, her protector, would feel abandoned or try to talk her out of it. The whole trip was her awkward way of trying to ease Nora into the idea.
Oh, that's heartbreaking, but also understandable. Sibling dynamics are so complex.
Totally. Libby's not rejecting Nora. She's choosing her own path, her own family's future. But Nora, of course, feels blindsided, hurt, maybe a little betrayed.
It forces her to confront how tightly she's been holding on to Libby. to that role, to their shared past.
Exactly. It's a painful realization, but ultimately it's growth. For both of them, they have to redefine their relationship, figure out how to support each other as adults living separate lives.
It's a really beautiful handling of sisterhood evolving.
It really is. So the book leads to these two big resolutions. First, Nora and Libby find a new equilibrium. They accept their different paths, but their bond is still strong, just different, mature. And second, Nora and Charlie. Instead of that expected small-town compromise ending.
They choose each other in the city.
Yes. He agrees to go back to New York because that's where they both actually want to be, where they both thrive.
No sacrifices needed, just alignment.
Right. And Nora finally, fully steps into her power. She realizes she doesn't have to be the before girl. She can be the main character, the heroine of her own story, on her own damn terms.
It's such a satisfying character arc.
Oh, satisfying.
So if we're summing up the big takeaways from Book Lovers, I mean, number one has to be how brilliantly it messes with those romance tropes.
Definitely.
It proves that finding love doesn't require sacrificing your ambition or changing your core self. It champions this idea of mutual respect for who you are right now.
Yeah, connection through acceptance, not compromise.
Exactly. And beyond the romance, it's just such a rich exploration of other things, too. Sisterhood, like we talked about, grief, family legacy, figuring out how to be authentic.
Living your truth instead of someone else's script.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that slow burn tension between Nora and Charlie, built on that intellectual spark, just sends a really powerful message about what connection can look like.
It really does. So thinking about this for you, listening, what does it all mean? I think this deep dive really shows how a story, even a romance novel, can actually challenge us, make us think about the narratives we accept in our own lives.
Do you ever feel pushed into a certain box, a specific trope?
Yeah, like in your job or relationships or just what you think you should want out of life.
Yeah.
How can you maybe take a page from Nora's book and embrace your own ambitions, your own desires without feeling like you have to apologize for them or water them down?
That's the core question, isn't it?
It really is. So maybe the final thought to leave you with is this. What parts of your own life story are you ready to maybe rewrite? To step up and be the true, unapologetic heroine of your own narrative, just like Nora Stephens ultimately does.